Splitgate needs to make it so that portals are limited in their main modes. And here's why. One, it's gonna bridge the skill gap, right? There are portal demons out there who are absolutely insane with portals, and they have no limitations to them. They can infinitely portal around the map and have gotten used to some of the patterns of the maps and where to portal, when to portal. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing necessarily. It's just a really huge skill wall for some people that would have to be worked on. People would have to learn the maps in terms of where portals are and where kind of like portal routes are to do them quickly and end up where the enemy isn't expecting. And that is honestly just one of those things. I think, hey, sure, players could learn it. But this comes to my second point. What happens when all of the players know it? And what happens kind of in competitive play? Well, honestly, my second point is that it would be unwatchable. People watching would have no idea what's going on in the game. And that plays a big role in the success of the game, believe it or not. The simplicity of games like Counter-Strike and Halo and Valorant had all brought them huge audiences and huge competitive scenes when their times were around. Heck, CS2 is still around and Valorant is still going strong. And those games are just simple to watch. You know what's happening, and when a cool shot happens, you think that's amazing. In Splitgate, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be Portal City and everyone's moving like crazy and suddenly someone's dead and you don't know how and you don't know where, but hey, that's the game and you don't even know when to shout. And that's a problem, right? I've seen the Portal demons play their games and watch their videos. It's crazy. Sometimes I don't even know how they get where they are. And for an audience perspective to not understand what's going on at all makes it a really difficult watch, right? I want to see the cool shots being landed rather than suddenly the game looking like a slideshow of the fastest presentation click-through of my life. And I think that's the issue with having these infinite portals in Splitgate. I think for watchability's sake, for competitive sake, they need to limit them. That has to be something that they're at least thinking about in terms of what they want for this game. I think if you want this game just to be something fun, high skill wall, and your small window of players to enjoy it, great. Then keep the infinite portals. It really is fun for that. I actually like the learning curve of the infinite portals. But if you want a bigger player base, if you want players to be retained, then I think limited portals has to happen. That there has to be cooldowns on those portals, that there needs to be more thought behind them rather than everyone being able to get anywhere they want whenever they want. Because that's crazy to watch and even crazy to do. Of course, players will be engaged the entire time, but viewers, they will not be. And that's a huge deal when it comes to the success of shooters. Ultimately, I think all shooters can be judged by, hey, how competitive were they? Think of some of the big shooters that you know. You probably know CS2. You probably at least heard of Halo back in its prime. You probably know of Valorant. You probably even know of Overwatch because of its attempt to make it into the competitive field and the high funding from the company to do that as well. You probably even know Rainbow Six Siege because of its competitive field, right? The shooters are known based on how competitive they were. In Splitgate, right now, could you imagine an announcer trying to announce where the people are going? It's just impossible. They would not be able to do it. And Splitgate looks like it's trying to be that kind of competitive FPS shooter where skill is the priority, and you would have tournaments where you see all these cool looking plays, but can they really do it with infinite portals? Would people really want to watch the game in its current state? I don't think so, and I think that's a big deal. So that's just the gist of why I think portals need to be limited in this game. I even say that even as you watch this, and I'm using portals like crazy. I think it should be stopped. Well, I say crazy, but not that crazy, but I am using them a bit to travel here. But I really do think they should be limited for ease of watching the game and just for general simplicity, to be able to watch and understand what's going on from the viewer's point of view, and for the players to understand what's going on. And it's like, hey, they used however amount of portals they get before the cooldown, and they don't have any more, so they're stuck there. But what do you think? Could Splitgate actually be a competitive shooter in the state that it's in right now? Or does it need to limit the portals? Or do you think it needs to do something else to be an actual competitive shooter? Or does it need no changes at all, and this shooter is perfect the way it is, and people would watch it the way it is? And if that's the case, have you been watching any of the gameplay so far? I know there's been at least one tournament that has been hosted, and I would just wonder like what this game will do as it continues. Will it host tournaments with no portals? How would that be different from the Halo games? Alright, so those are just some things that I'm thinking about as I play this game more and more, and I continue to love this game. It's a lot of fun. I just wonder if that's one of the keys to its success, is looking at that kind of competitive window. What can they do to have competitive tournaments that spectators enjoy watching? So that's it for me. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.